topic, which is nothing but coefficient of variation. Now this topic is one of the important topic of our syllabus, where you have one definite one question for your examination, which can be highest weightage of your question paper, right? That we will be talking about little later. Once we finished all the chapter, I'll be telling you which is the important part. But as of now, please understand this coefficient of variation is one of the very important topic, and please understand this. Okay, it's very simple. You don't have to do anything at all. So what you have to do is, basically it's called CV, and which is nothing but sigma by x bar into 100. That's it. All of you know very well how to find standard deviation, right? All of you also know very well how to find out the mean, right? That's it. So whatever the data they have given, you just have to find out the standard deviation divided by mean into 100. That's it. This is the simple thing you have to do. Formula I don't have to write once again because already you have it. Now, but there is a twist. The twist is that here generally they give you two different populations and they'll ask you to compare which is better, which is more consistent. So basically coefficient of variations are used to find out consistency. How better that particular person is consistent. For example, there are two batsmen. If I want to know which batsman is more consistent, so I can use coefficient of variation and I can find out, right? So basically what they're going to do, they're going to give the two different data, and they might ask you the question, who is a better scorer or who is more consistent scorer or something like that. So better and scorer, consistent. Generally these two type of question will be there for our syllabus. Okay. So let's see one question and then maybe you understand better. So what I'll do is I'll do one based on ungrouped data and one based on group data so that you can understand, right? So let's take one question. A question which is displayed on your screen. You can say that the following data refer to the dividend percentage paid by the two company A and B. Calculate the coefficient of variation and comment. Okay, so here they have not asked you who is better, who is consistent, but still I will tell you, because in examination most of the time they will be talking about who is better and who is more consistent. So let me just write the data. So you can see that these are the two different data. Company A is separate and company B is separate. So what we are going to do is 2, 3, 5, 8 and 4. This is for company A. So first you are going to find out CV for company A separate and company B separate. So first let's find out these two things. To find CV we need standard deviation. So can I write here, this is nothing but your A, X. So let me just write company A, this is, okay. So sigma is nothing but what will happen, summation x square by n minus summation x by n the whole square, or you can use the other formula, whichever you're comfortable with. So summation x I can get it from here, right, which is nothing but it's 22. Okay, so 22, and I can just directly find x square and I can get 4, 9, 25, 64 and 60. Summation x square over here, which I can substitute directly. And what is your n value? N value is nothing but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. N value is 5. So can we substitute and can we find out the x bar? So your standard deviation will be, here you are getting 108. So let me just substitute and find out 118 by 5 minus x bar is nothing but 22 by 5 the whole square. If you solve this, you will be getting standard deviation as 2.0591. Then what next? Mean you need. So mean is nothing but summation x by n. So summation x is nothing but 22 by 5. So if you solve this, 5 4s are 24.4. So this is your x bar, right? Up to now all of you are very comfortable, I hope so, because this basic thing which we have been learning throughout this chapter, mean and standard deviation we got. Next what I am finding is CV for company A. Just I am writing this. So what is going to happen, standard deviation, let me just write company A and here also company A so that you should not have confusion. So standard deviation for company A and mean for company A into 100. So what is the standard deviation value? That is 2.05 591 divided by 4.4 into 100. So if you solve this, you will be getting CV for A is 46.8, and this value is given in percentage, so let it be in percentage. Okay, CVA is done. Similarly, we are going to take company B data, which is nothing but, let me just take XB. Here I am going to take XA because it was for A company. So XB I am going to take, which is nothing but 6, 3, 8, 10 and 7. And then I will be finding X square also, because I'll need the X square total for the standard deviation. So 9, 64, 100 and 49. So what are the totals? Summation X total you are getting 34, and summation X square total you are getting 258. So let me just directly write the formula. Standard deviation for B. Make sure that whenever you do all the formulas, all the steps as I am doing, it should be like that. Please do not miss even a one step, because this contain very like highest weightage, 10 marks, sometimes 6 marks like that. So they want all the steps. Okay, now, so what is the formula? Summation X square by N minus summation X by N the whole square. So if you substitute the value, I'll directly write the values over here. Standard deviation, you will be getting 2.32. Similarly, you find mean for B, which is nothing but summation X by N. So summation X is 34, and of course your N value is nothing but 5. So 34 by 5, if you do mean, you will be getting 6.8. Mean you are getting 6.8. So what will happen? CV for B, which is nothing but B by mean for B into 100. So substitute the value and you will be getting 34.12. So this much, I think you will be comfortably, you will be able to do, nothing to worry about. Now the next part is write down the conclusion. So generally in this type of question you will have two type of question. Now remember, first one is they will talk about who is better in the sense, whenever if these are the company percentage or these are the players who is scoring runs and all, so whenever their average is better, definitely you can call that person as a better. You remember, suppose two cricketers is playing, if one cricketer average is 50, another cricketer average is 52, of course you will say his average is better, he's 52 average. So whenever there is a better in the question, if they are asking about better, you will compare the average. Okay, you will compare the average, and whichever average is greater, that is better. So you can see here, mean here is 4.4 and here mean here is 6 points. So I can write this, X bar B is greater than X bar A, which means company A is better. Remember, let me repeat. Whenever they talk about better, you compare average, and whichever average is greater is better, right? Okay. When the next thing they'll talk about consistency. So consistency means basically what happens, you will have to compare the CV, coefficient of variation, the variation, and whichever coefficient of variation is less is more consistent. Now let me just explain you how it works. Suppose one player is there, two players are there, both plays 10 matches. One match hits century, another match 0. Next match again he hits 68. Assume that another match he is going to 2. So what is happening is one match he is able to score more run, and another match he is going to 0, 2 like that. So he is not consistent because his variation is more. But whereas other player, in the 10 matches, every matches he is scoring between 50 to 60. So what we can tell is, at least this player is consistent. Why? Because his variation is less. So whichever variation is less is more consistent. So here what will happen? CVA or CVB. So let me just write CVB less than CVA, which means company B is more consistent. So this is the two major part that we have to take care of it while doing the coefficient of variation problem, right? So that's it about the coefficient of variation. Pause the video, make a note of it. Let's solve one more problem, which is group data under the coefficient of variation, which is displayed on your screen. You can see that the company compute the coefficient of variation, the average distribution curvature. So basically they have given the class interval and place A and place B. So what you're going to do is, when you solve for place A, you take the class interval, whatever they have given, and you consider the frequency for place A. So for example, they have given 600 to 800, 800 to 1000, 1000 to 1200, and so on. And what is the frequency? 25, 42, 68, 152 and 53. So this will be the frequency. You can treat this particular column as a frequency for the place A. Similarly, when you start solving for place B, you will take the same class interval. What is the class interval? That is 600 to 800, 800 to 1000, 1000 to 1200, and so on. And the frequency you will be taking whatever they have given for the place B, which is nothing but 32, 65, 84, 124, 30, right? And the remaining procedure is same, right? So how do we find the standard deviation? Very simple. Which formula? Group data formula. So summation fx square by n minus summation fx by n the whole square, right? So you can find over here x, the midpoint of the class interval, then you can find out x square, then you can find out f into x, and then you can find out f into x square. So these are the four columns needed. Once you find the mean, then you find out the mean you have to find out standard deviation after standard deviation mean, that is summation fx by n, and then you can find out CV for place A, that is standard deviation for mean into 100. And similar procedure you will be repeating for place B. So the method is same, only when the class interval they have given or the group data they have given, consider the same class interval for both the data, frequency will be different, right? And the conclusion again remains the same, everything else is same, right? So that's it about the coefficient of variation. I hope all of you are able to understand. We will soon upload you the problem based on this and you can try practicing it. So pause the video, make a note of it, we'll move further, we'll see the next topic.